Hello and welcome everyone to a fresh new comparison video between two camera kings. This is the Google Pixel 7 Pro versus the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This is the camera comparison, and of course after this comparison video there is going to be only one king. But of course, which one is the better one? That is what we are here to decide. So right now you're looking at the selfie video recording from both the Google Pixel 7 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Both phones can shoot up to 4K 60 FPS video. This is the 4K 30 FPS sample. And right off the bat, you can make out which one is the better one. Like, let me know in the comments which one do you think is doing a better job with the colors. How about the stabilization? I'm walking at a pretty good pace. And it's quite windy weather also over here in Delhi NCR. But yeah, this is how the quality looks like. Just quickly giving you a sneak peek of the HDR performance. Also, I'm standing right across the sun, and you can make out which one is the better one. Of course, on the phone screen, the S23 Ultra is definitely looking to be the better one. But you decide. You let me know in the comments which one does a better job with stabilization, colors. How does my audio sound? Let me know everything. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get this camera comparison started. But before we go any further, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos, and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. With that said, let's get started. Starting off with the first photo taken from the primary cameras of both smartphones, and right off the bat, note that going forward in many areas I will be praising the colors in Samsung's image, of course, for it being vibrant, and simply put, vibrant colors catch our attention. So as seen in this image, one can be naturally inclined towards the S23 Ultra's photo since the colors such as the greens or the blue sky simply pop. Of course, the Pixel 7 Pro has a more natural output here, but with Samsung's take on the color science, I think a little vibrancy made a simple photo such as this pop. Now in terms of details, I think upon zooming in, it is the Pixel 7 Pro that looks to be ever so slightly detailed. And by the way, the Pixel 7 Pro is also a tad better when dealing with shadows in an image, as clearly seen on the tree stem. On to the next photo, that is the same scene but from the ultra-wide angle camera of both smartphones, and once again we see a similar sort of a performance as in the terms of consistency. As you can see, both phones stay true to their primary camera's color science, and there's little to no color disparity between both the primary and ultra-wide angle lens, so that is great. Again, excellent dynamic range. The details and shadows are ever so slightly better in the Pixel's photo. However, the overall image, because of the pop and vibrancy I keep talking about, is definitely better taken on the S23 Ultra. On to the next photo taken from the primary lens again. Now this was clicked during the golden hour, and as you can see, both phones have once again done a fabulous job. Now definitely let me know which photo do you prefer in the comments below, because according to me, while the Pixel's photo will definitely give more room for editing later, I think it is the Samsung's photo that simply nails it in terms of color reproduction, especially how Samsung's photo ever so slightly boosts the color of the building or the sky to just the right amount where it is right away Instagram worthy. However, I have to give it to Google's AI, as the moving objects like the auto rickshaw and the car look sharper in comparison to that in the Samsung's photo. Similarly, looking at the same scene but now talking a little about the zoom capabilities of both smartphones. So by default, the Pixel 7 Pro lets you do a 2x and a 5x optical zoom versus the S23 Ultra's 3x and 10x optical zoom. This is the 2x and 3x zoom photos respectively, and right away the Samsung's photo is leaps and bounds ahead here. Again, in terms of color disparity, both phones do a fabulous job, and the colors are pretty consistent across all the lenses on both smartphones. But as for the result in terms of preserving the details in this very photo, well, you can clearly see how well the texture of the building is preserved in Samsung's image. Even in the 5x and 10x photo comparison, the Pixel does try to redeem itself, and this time around actually presents a more detailed output. However, the S23 Ultra is simply next level, and the details that you get from the 10x optical zoom on the S23 Ultra is just mind-blowing. On to the next scene, and let's talk a bit about the HDR performance of both smartphones. And this, I believe, is the perfect photo according to me, as I took the shot of the tree against the sun. Pretty tough situation, and I'm sure the iPhone 14 series would have faltered here, but in between these two phones, I think the S23 Ultra again presents a much balanced photo. As you can see, the highlights are handled well in the case of the sunlight, and even the stem or the tree leaves or the sky look more pleasing in Samsung's photo. As for Google's output, the Pixel 7 Pro went all aggressive with the processing, and so the shadows in the photo are all blown out, resulting in somewhat washed out colors. The highlights again, I would say, look passable in comparison to the S23 Ultra. On to clicking human subjects, I think once again pretty neck and neck performance. However, when you look closely, the skin tones definitely look more natural in S23 Ultra's photo. Even upon closely zooming in, the details are surely better in Samsung's photo, while in Google's output, the result does look slightly over sharpened. Now, taking another photo of the same human subject in portrait mode, and by default, the 1x mode on Google looks zoomed in comparison to that of the S23 Ultras. Now, in terms of the edge cutout or the background blur, both phones do a fantastic job. However, the colors are surely better again on the Samsung. The saturation and contrast looks just about right on the S23 Ultra's image, while on the Google, I might be nitpicking here now, but there seems to be a slight magenta tint that I could not ignore. Now, coming to the shots taken indoors, and as you can see, yours truly is trying to strike a pose here. Let me know how you find this photo and my t-shirt. But on a serious note, in conditions where the lighting gets tricky, it is the S23 Ultra that takes a bit longer to click the photo in comparison to the Pixel. However, both phones do require you to keep your hands still in order to avoid a shaky output. And also, you must be thinking both phones have delivered almost the same result. However, upon zooming in, I could clearly see that the details on my face were definitely handled better on the S23 Ultra's image, while the Pixel starts showing its weakness here. Again, not bad image on the Pixel, but surely better on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, the same scene in portrait mode, and again, superb results on both the smartphones. Actually, the Pixel did better here in portrait mode than in the normal mode, but still, somewhere down the line, when I compare both the photos side by side, I think the Google's processing made the photos slightly over sharpened, and while I won't call Samsung's result perfect, I feel as an overall photo, I prefer the one taken on the S23 Ultra. Now, before I talk about the selfie performance, let's finally talk about the extreme low light performance. So, similar scene as the first photo, but this time in the dark. Of course, both phones have done a great job in dealing with the highlights and shadows to make the photo look natural and not over processed. Of course, Samsung did better here again, as the sky in Google's image had noise, and also when zooming in, it is the Samsung's photo that has done better in preserving the details. Now, the same scene captured from the ultra wide angle lens, and while both the photos are nothing to write home about, it is still the S23 Ultra's image that has clearly decimated Google's output. See, in terms of details, none of the two have done any good. The Samsung maybe has a decent enough photo to look from the phone's screen, but the Pixel 7 Pro's photo has the noise all over the place along with poor details. It's as if the phone messed up all aspects in order to brighten up the image. Similar story again with the telephoto lens. Samsung once again produces a sharper output with better colors, whereas the Pixel 7 Pro's photo once again has poor details along with an unusual green tinge that I could not ignore. Now, on to the selfie photos, and I don't feel like saying this again and again, but Samsung definitely produces the better selfies. I mean, just look at the output, guys. There is simply no comparison when it comes to the skin tones. The S23 Ultra's image simply looks much better. Plus, the details on my face are preserved so fine in Samsung's image. Also, in these photos, I noticed that Google has struggled to nail the white balance, as a strange magenta tinge is there in the Pixel 7 Pro's output. But otherwise, in terms of edge detection and dynamic range, both phones do a fine job. Finally, wrapping up the still photography bit with this nighttime photo taken in portrait mode from the selfie camera, and this time around I want you guys to let me know which one do you think is better here. I am not labeling the photo, so guess which phone has taken which one, and do check out the description to know your guesses. I have made my pick. Let's see which one you choose and let me know why. So this right here is the video recording from the rear camera on the Google Pixel 7 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This is the kind of quality that you get. So for those who don't know, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra can shoot up to 8K 30 FPS videos, while the Google can only do up to 4K 60 FPS, and this right here is the 4K 30 FPS sample. And guys, let me know which one do you think so, which phone is doing a better job. Let me know in the comments below. But of course, if I have to give you a brief highlight this year around, Samsung has upped their game in terms of video stabilization. I mean, Google is also doing a fair job. Google does a very fine job actually, the Pixel 7 Pro. But Samsung is simply on the next level. I'll quickly do a run and you can make out like how does the stabilization look, which phone do you think is doing a better job. Samsung is definitely looking to be the most stable one in the viewfinder. And apart from this, how does my audio sound, how does the colors look? Both are definitely top-notch performers, but if you have to pick one, which one would you take? I think so Samsung's video recording is definitely on the next level. Google Pixel 7 Pro is great, but the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is definitely on another level. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And now I'll shift to the end of the video. So guys, long story short, this was your camera comparison video between the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra and the Google Pixel 7 Pro. And as you have seen the photos, see, both are amazing camera systems, the Pixel 7 and the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, but you know, it all comes down to the color science. Which one do you prefer? Now I definitely love the vibrant output, the colors pop, like how the colors pop in Samsung's image. I definitely love that kind of output. But Google is also great in its own area. I mean, the photos that you take on the Google Pixel 7 Pro are much easier to edit in post, like because of the natural tone that it comes with. So definitely matter of preference, but if you ask me honestly which one is the more versatile among the two, definitely the S23 Ultra. Or even in terms of, you know, preserving the details in a photo. It's not about just point and shoot. If you're into zooming, then definitely the S23 Ultra does a much better job. But you let me know in the comments. You've seen all the photos, you've seen the videos. Which one do you think did a better job? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Fiiber. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.